Now, if you haven't heard about our next guest yet, then you're living under a rock. She is the billion-dollar boo with the billion-dollar body. Since her debut, she has been taking the wrestling world by storm and will soon be a name you will never forget. Katie Forbes is in the house tonight. Katie, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi.
Now, Katie, let's get right into it. What led you into the world of becoming a pro wrestler?
Well, I used to be a fitness competitor, competed in bikini and physique, so I was already very fit, and I was always into athletics before. And so I had met my mentor, Hawx, at the gym. He owns the wrestling school here, WildKat Wrestling in New Orleans. And so I went and watched a show and fell absolutely in love with wrestling. And I've been passionate about it ever since.
Sure. Now tell us about this. You said you were trained by Hawx. How is that training like for you? You're pretty much in amazing shape as you are. Did wrestling come natural for you?
The athletic side does, because I was a cheerleader, and so I'm good with flipping and things like that. So I'm very athletic, but what was harder for me to catch on to was the psychology behind wrestling, because I did not grow up watching wrestling, and I did not grow up with the plans of being a pro wrestler like most wrestlers do. So I started from scratch. The psychology behind it that I've had to work on the most.
Sure. Now, between 2015 2016, women's wrestling has become bigger than I think it ever has been in recent times. As a female wrestler, how do you feel about how far women's wrestling has come, and how does it feel to be a part of this movement?
Yeah, it's awesome how far women's wrestling has come, because women keep up with the men now. I definitely am excited to be a part of it, for where women can be seen as equal in wrestling, where before it was like a divas match and, a men's wrestling match.
Definitely. Now, we mentioned Hawx a little bit. Speaking of him, WildKat Wrestling is one of your homes away from home. For anybody listening now who hasn't heard about WildKat Wrestling, what could you tell them about it?
WildKat Wrestling is based out of New Orleans, and we just got a TV deal starting September 29th here in New Orleans and surrounding areas on WUPL. So it started off as a promotion, and as a wrestling school. So it's a wrestling school and a promotion. And so that is my first, that's the first place that I've wrestled at.
Definitely. Now, you also recently won the RCW Women's Championship, River City Wrestling down in San Antonio, Texas. How does it feel to be the women's champion? And now that you have tasted the gold, does it inspire you to become the best in every promotion you will work for?
Yes, it definitely has inspired me. It was awesome going there and getting the women's championship belt, and I'm going back to defend it on November 4th. And the love from the fans there was awesome. It was such a great vibe, and I love RCW, the show, the setup of it. So to be able to be their champion was really awesome. And so I've been training and preparing for that and my other shows coming up, but it definitely motivated me to train harder.
And also, next week, for all the fans listening, they can see you on September 29th at the Belasco Theater in downtown LA for a night of superheroes, villains, and world-class professional wrestling. Wow, the women of wrestling, you'll be there. Can you tell the fans what they can expect from you when they see you?
Yes, so September 29th at the Belasco Theater, I am going to be in a title match against Jungle Girl, because I had won last week at Friday Night Fights for Women of Wrestling. And so the match that I had won was to be a contender in the title match. And so I'm really excited for that, because my opponent has been wrestling 16 years before she had got her championship match. So my first match with them I won, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to win again and win the title at WOW too.
Definitely. Now from all over the U.S. to now all over the world, you are also headed to India as well for CWE on October 12th. Will this be your first time in India?
No, this is my second time in India.
Are you excited to see the fans out there?
Yes, I'm so excited. I can't wait for that. My last trip to India was so inspiring, and it was the biggest crowd that I wrestled in front of, because one of the shows had over 55,000 people at it. So yeah,
Wow.
it was a huge show, and everybody had a lot of love for Katie Forbes. So I'm excited to go back again.
Awesome, definitely. Now, like most fans out there, I've given up my $9.99 a month to watch WWE's network. I was watching Breaking Ground this summer, and I happened to notice you training in the back. Anything you could tell us about your experience with WWE at that time?
Yes, that was I went there for the weekend for a tryout weekend, and we were filming for Breaking Ground then, and that was awesome too. I learned a lot. It was like a seminar because a lot went into it that weekend. We worked really hard, and it was 3 long days. And it inspired me even more, to better myself in wrestling.
Now, also, your boyfriend RVD happens to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Do you look to him a lot for advice in the ring?
Yes, I do. Because before I had met him, I was, I loved his innovative movesets and everything like that. So then when I met him, it was cool that we just really vibed. And I look up to him a lot as a person and as a wrestler too. So it's cool to learn from him.
Definitely. And also speaking of WWE, they also just finished their Cruiserweight Classic tournament. Some talk about them doing a women's tournament, hopefully in the near future. I know I would personally love to see you in that. And how would you feel about having a women's tournament, maybe showcasing a lot of the women across the country just across the world who haven't really been showcased as much? You think that would probably be a good idea too?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I think it's great how much attention that the WWE is giving the women's division and the Divas Revolution.
Becoming a wrestler, training for a wrestler, has there been one piece of advice that you were given that that was really good for you, that just really got you to the next level?
Yeah, when I first started, I was thinking I had to be such a tough acting, shit talking badass. And then somebody told me, just be yourself, but amp it up, and so then Katie Forbes, I wrestle by my real name. Katie Forbes is who I am. And, so just being myself and in the ring, my personality shows through because real knows real, so people can tell when you're being yourself or when you're playing a wrestler or when you're a real wrestler. So that's the best advice that I've had.
All right. Well, Katie, we barely scratched the surface with you today. I know you're a busy lady. You got a lot of stuff going on. We hope to have you on in the near future. But for everybody listening, can you tell them about social media? Where can they follow you and, hear about you day to day?
Yes, on Facebook, it's Katie Forbes. And it's spelled Forbes like the magazine, Forbes. Instagram is the Katie Forbes, and Twitter is the Katie Forbes.
All right. Well, Katie, we thank you so much for stopping by today, and we wish you nothing but the best in your future.
Thank you.